Hey, so it's been a while. I think we had four logs so far and nothing came after it. Honestly, things have been happening here. Shit's been going on. It's just that we didn't get the time to. It's wrong to say get the time to. It's more like we didn't have the motivation to record a video. So yeah, that's been it. Now let's talk about what has happened here. It's September now. I think it's been about 2 3 months since we moved in. Yeah, it's about 3 months since we moved in, and 3 months is no short time. It's not a week, right? And we've had people come into the space. We have people leave the space. Right now, I'm all alone. But yeah, we have Ashish and Michelle staying regulars, somewhat. But yeah, everyone else basically is kind of flexi. They don't come up. They are not regulars. They are flexi. Hmm? So that's about people. This thing is functional, let's say. But let's see 6 months now from now on how the space will go on. We have our surroundings cleared recently, and our front porch right now has this lighting setup. We have campfire. We got a small pit, fire pit, uh, a few wooden structures we put into let people sit, have talk, and those uh, aesthetic lights. We put that in. Actually, it's not me. It's not the we. It's not actually we or people in the house. There was a different program that was being hosted, and they wanted a place, and we are like, okay, sure, you could use our house, and they used our house, and yeah, they hosted the program wonderfully. Well, they left a few crap here and there, but yeah, it was nice. It was wonderful. I was sadly not here to see the event, but yeah, the event did happen. Now, they set up a few stuff, and we are planning on using it. Other than that, let's say, so that must been something eventful. We fixed our electricity issue. Well, not entirely, but a issue we had was one fuse. Apparently, we thought the fuse has blown up, but no, it's just you had to play with the main switchboard a bit. So that's that. What else? That's about the people, and that's about the general things that are happening here. That's happening here. Now, regarding our projects, work, and all that stuff, I've been working at. I'm kind of interning at two places already. So that's sorted on my part. Mm, Michelle also joined the same place where I work at. So we are basically co-workers, the same, house. Something else, let's say, my team basically the thing I've been planning on doing this small startup kind of thing on my own, right? It's not a startup basically. It's a dev group where I run my own projects. It's a workshop, let's say. We got 5 people now. uh, we had Open's project remaining to finish, and uh, Ashish has been doing that. Ashish and Ashwin, those two are the folks I brought in. I taught them stuff that I know. I don't code much these days. It's more them coding, I doing the final review, code suggestions. But honestly, they are way better at coding than I am. I just use cursor these days. But yeah, I make the architectural decisions. They do the code most often. Yeah, they've been coding, and they are also understanding the decision choices and all that stuff. They are capable of making decision choices to some extent right now, and it's good. I think they are quite employable right now. I need to get them into some jobs if I can. Yeah, two people in the team. So it's right now me, Arjun AI, and then these two guys. You got four folks, and then additionally, I've been scouting around in my college, and we got a fun little kid. His name is Avijit. Uh, so this is in second year. He's in his second year, so quite early, I'd say, compared to when I was exposed to community and all that stuff. Hopefully, he will deliver, and if he delivers, we'll be doing more projects. What else? What else? Let's see. Hmm. Nothing much actually. Now let's talk about the projects that we have. So, as you may know, I this banner I'm working under is called AIC project.cc. It's AI companions project, but I don't think we're gonna stick with companions, but more of something in the social domain, but not clearly companions. Let's say. Yeah, that's the banner, right? We are gonna focus on data set creation and toolkits for data set creation for a while. We got a few projects lined up in that aspect. Why data set creation? I think so far there was this thing in computer science where people say, if you show me or if you describe me the way you're solving something, or your solution to a problem, or if you can describe the problem clearly, I can write a solution, a codified solution for it. That's something that has been in computer science for a while, but now things has been changing for the last 1 year at least, I would say. From the last 1 year, there has been this paradigm shift where you don't need to define your problem clearly, or you don't need to define your solution in absolutes. As long as you're able to log it or demo it, demonstrate it, some way of recording it. Once you are able to record all the actionable items that you do, the reasoning behind it, the whys behind it, the intuition behind it can be offloaded to a neural network, at least of larger sizes. We've been seeing that trend. So now the number of solvable problems, or practically solvable problems, have been exploded. Let's say. So before this, you could only solve problems that have definite solutions. Now you don't need that. As long as you're able to show it, you're able to solve it, and that is profound. That is having a big impact. So now everyone is going to there's gonna be this huge data race for people to previously economically non-viable tasks, or the boring tasks that could have been automated but that were not automated because they had this intuition aspect in it. Those tasks could be automated now, as long as you have the data. Many industries, many organized large scale corpos already have logs for these as part of their processes, but many don't, or many never bothered to. Now everyone has this awareness of what capability is being unlocked, and everyone is behind data logging, or data set creation. Now everyone wants to get there fast. The problem is you will be sacrificing on data quality, and data quality cannot be synthetic. Synthetic generation is possible, but you don't have even the seed data to begin with. And people are having this issue, like, where do you get the data from? There's no way to circumvent the manual data collection process. And now there is this economic opportunity where data set creation is a viable job for the lower strata of people, and like you could have a little job, like economic mobility into upper classes, if you have, let's say, if you can create data sets in an accurate manner, or let's say you are capable of creating data sets, and you are creating data sets and providing value. So that kind of thing is going to be huge. Now if you ponder about data set creation, it's a boring task actually, very boring. Like nobody will be bothering to like write all this stuff up. Labeling has been one of the hardest part in machine learning. And now it's going to explode. The domains of data logging, where you're gonna log your data, is gonna be large. So how do you log this data? That has been a question. And the more I think about it, it's not about can you do it, it's more about why would you do it. For a data logging guy, sure it pays, but it's not that interesting. You can see this problem in government initiatives where they are gonna log, curate data sets for multilingual speech and all that stuff. The user experience is quite shit. So for an open source contribution, nobody's gonna bother, and people who are gonna bother are just gonna create absolute like dark water bullshit datasets. The contribution is gonna be useless. So there is this user experience moment, or user experience focused data collection toolkits that's gonna pop up. That should pop up actually. If they don't pop up, somebody else is gonna take that space up. I'm planning on taking that space up actually. So data creation toolkits that are user experience focused, mobile first, because people are not gonna use their fucking desktops. Are they dumb? No. You want this to be as quick in and out, so that you don't saturate the labeler's mind a lot. You want them to make 5 good quality dataset contributions every day, let's say, and you want to keep them, engage them. It's gonna be a lot of psychology driven user experience design for getting people to contribute their best portion. So what is that the proper number of contributions that people could get? What are the variants that people have in here? What are the capability? What is the threshold? What is the best user experience where people will contribute what they require without sacrificing the contribution quality? Desktops have too much friction. People are not gonna log into a desktop environment and log it. So you need to think in a very radical way about designing these user experiences for data logging. I've been working on this user experience thing for 2 projects. One is for image labeling tasks for a specific domain, and then language labeling, transcription. It's multi-speaker, multi-tone, noisy dataset with transcription, transliteration, and translations. So how do you convey that kind of how do you collect that kind of info from the user? How do you label it? What is the best input medium? Because previous text box input mediums and check boxes are not gonna be useful anymore. And how do you assist these data logging or data entry in a reiterative not in a reiterative, in an iterative cycle like manner, where first you have the data being logged, then you have models assisting with the data logging, and hopefully this iteration goes like the cyclic release or improvement keeps on going till at one point the human effort reduces and the AI effort increases to a point where you could just remove this component out and the AI will be self-improving, or it will synthetically generate. So we need to have this data set creation ecosystem or system, let's say, where there are user experience driven toolkits, there are reward mechanisms, there are policies, there are ranking systems, and then you got these, what can I say, these self-improving mechanisms, and then you got RLAF, all that stuff, so that these models can improve on themselves. But coming back to the point, it's data set creation, and these kind of data sets will be required for everything. How do you think thought tokens to, let's say, meeting minute preparation, for tasks like labeling medical reports. So you will be picking up on all these single elements, single niche use cases, and then trying to get data sets generated for them, iteratively deploying these models, helping aiding in dataset creation itself, and then fully moving it into the data generation pipeline. Like, I haven't seen much people work on this aspect. People are working on this by writing their own scripts on their own thing, but there's no design studio that's focused on this problem in a holistic manner. The user experience moment, the reward gamification cycles, so the psychology behind all this, the mobile focused interfaces, or whatever interface that comes next, and then model self improvement or model assisted data entry or data logging methodologies. There is not a studio for this. The studio that focuses on data labeling. So we gotta be the data labeling studio solution or something like that. The one studio where you can approach for your data set creation solution problems for your specific niche use case. So that is a niche that I identified over the last 1 year. Not 1 year, more like 4 or 5 months. This is a niche case that actually exists, and I think I can get into that niche. And another niche that I want to talk about was social networks, not social media networks or that kind of thing. Agentic systems. Like what is the next AI thing that you can develop that has a moat for a while at least? This one thing has been what kind of work is gonna be the next 3-4 year defining moment. Maybe it's 2-3 years, but yeah, but the next 2-3 years is gonna be just dataset curation. And I think it's gonna be a basic department that every company is gonna have to hopefully automate things and replace their workforce. So that is one thing. That's one thing that's gonna separate. Put separately. The next thing I want to talk about was this. What is the next you're gonna look like? What is the next thing that you're gonna build with AI agents and all that stuff? That is gonna be truly useful. So QStar recently released, right? And what you found is you could have like massive improvements in reasoning, and that's where it's headed. Token generate like thought tokens and all that stuff, and then make it think. It's gonna be really smart at thinking and reasoning. That's where we are heading. There is this long context game that's happening with multiple architectures, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I think long context will evolve as a consequence of this, but I don't think we have to laser focus there. People are gonna improve that, and the reasoning is gonna improve in different manner, not in an architecture perspective, but we got a new flywheel, a self improvement flywheel essentially, with test time compute also getting its highlight with QStar kind of models, QStar breed of models. But yeah, what is going to be the next thing that you're gonna develop? There are multiple agentic things that people are working on. Station AI is working on sec vulnerabilities. The company I'm working at is solving browser automation. So we got all these agents that work on the software level. What is the thing that's gonna be outside there? There's this huge fucked up place, legal system. The legal system is very there is a lot of economical incentive for developing agents in the legal system, and it's all actually crowded as well. There are multiple other systems as well for report generation. There is less crowd on this. There's also sales agent kind of thing, but it's bullshit. I don't trust in that much. But there's going to be agents which are focused on report generation, consultation assistance, and all that stuff. That's gonna help a lot. That's going to come up next. We already had that with Firefiles or Firefly or Otter, things that get into your meeting, take notes for you, make reports for you, synchronizes with all the other tools that you have to log work, to do items, tasks, and all that stuff. in relation to Slack, Linear, Jira tickets. And that kind of stuff is going on right now. That is the kind of stuff that people are focusing on. And I do also have a startup idea around that aspect. I don't know if I'm gonna build on top of it, but there is something that I wanna build there. But what after that? What's after that? Now, one specific area I'm interested in CRM is in CRMs. I personally hate managing my social contacts. I actually have a few. I had a few ideas about how I could uh, change the way we see contacts, uh, personal relations, um, and keeping up with people. Modern social networks have given us the boon of people being distant while close. So how do we fix that? How can AI help fix that? I've been also exploring ideas among, you know, uh, what do you say? What's the thing called where you do, where you where you pick people, you dark people up, open source intelligence, OSINT, yeah, OSINT workers and all that stuff. I've been looking into why not an agent that is focused on managing your social relations, keeping up your dossiers on people, and knowing context behind who you're talking about, updating a relation graph dynamically. You can see the graph at any point. You can overlay someone else's social graph and see your personal network. And then it also lets you chart out conversations based on objectives that you want to solve. So it's going to be that therapist kind of agent, which sits with you, plans out conversations. It's going to be that, you know how politicians have teams of people surrounding them that takes up every single note, observes every single person they are meeting, rates their entire intelligence. Like, you have basically an intelligence team keeping tabs on people, and briefing you when you're going for a dinner next. They are gonna brief you up on, hey, you met this person XYZ, he's related to these people. Here is what we could find from there. We could find online, offline, using information brokers. Your team will have this information broker that they could always tap into when they need information on someone. So what if an agent has this information network, like it has other people or other contacts they could use, that kind of shit. So basically, your PR team or your socials team or your CRM team, the one that can plan out strategies during conversations, map out conversations, and then give you this path on, hey, converse about XYZ, and then you will have your deal done. You can close that deal. So that kind of agents. I don't think it's the capability right now is kind of shit. But this is not just the AI agentic capability. It's gonna be engineering capability as well. It's gonna be social engineering. It's gonna be psychology. It's gonna be social networks. The thing that's been solved by LinkedIn. LinkedIn does this fancy stuff. You have second connections, tertiary connections, and you can combine all these stuff up. Wild shit, actually. So I think there's gonna be people who's gonna build things around that. If nobody's gonna build things around that, I think I'm very interested in building things around that. It's just that I don't have the bandwidth to do that. But yeah, I think these kind of systems, these are gonna be what I call L3. L1 is gonna be all these software level solutions. L2 is gonna be all these systems that are they have a structured reference to go by. L3 systems are gonna be these things where you have high impact on the real world, but it's very unstructured. It's all dependent on multiple people that you gotta interact with. Information brokers, they're gonna be people. It's gonna be shady. It's gonna be very raw, human. It's gonna be it's shady. It's gonna be shady. So how do you emulate that? How do you make that an agentic system? Once you do that, if you can do that, there's gonna be massive value for it. You're gonna have executives will pay for this. Like, imagine the value. An executive can look at any person and have this agent be like, track every information about them, map out a social network from their perspective and from my perspective, so that I can make the connections required to get close with that person. Make the list, chart out the events that's gonna happen, so that I can get close with the person, get a meet with them, and then get this deal closed. What is the conversations that chart me out the conversations that I can have with this person, where with that I'll get this deal done. An agent that can do that is gonna be so fucking of a game changer. It's like it's gonna be world fabric changing in a sense. So this kind of agentic system is gonna be huge, and I don't know nobody doing this. I don't know of a single soul doing this. Everyone is focusing on agentic, simulations, agents, and all that stuff. They are building it for brand review, because that's where the economic value is right now. Where you have brands, let's say, like you got these things where it lets brands validate their ideas before it goes to market and gets shit. People are simulating that. People are simulating, like, the Minecraft simulation experiment, where people let agents build their own religion, sort out issues. They have people have their own personalities and all that stuff. There's work going on that, but this thing that I talked about, where you got social PR and CRM and strategy management, that kind of thing. An agent is able to crack that. One person, it's gonna be that secretary for you. Once you got that secretary level thing going on, it's gonna be a game changer. And I don't think people are being focused. Like, someone needs to be obsessed on that, solving that problem. And I think that is going to be the major thing people can work on for agent. I think the space is way less crowded. The browser automation space is not even crowded. There's like, yeah, I'm not revealing shit because I work there, but yeah, if that is not crowded, this is not at all crowded, let's say. And this is gonna be like, I have more hypothesis on about this. I don't have writings about this, let's say, but I got so much shit regarding this. I talk with a lot of people about this, and I have ideas in my head, and I know a product vision for this. I actually have a few product ideas that I have. I just don't got the time to build. But this could be basically my shot to YC. It's an idea. I know YC rarely takes up something in the idea states, but yeah, we do have this, and I do think this is a clear shot for the future. Something that's not going to be crowded, something that's not going to have economic attractability for a while, but when this fucking drops, or when the capability is going to creep up, this is going to be a far shot. The economical viability is also going to be creeping up. But the moment when the economical viability is there, the technological capability is there, and viability is there, it's going to be a fucking like a moment. It's gonna be a snap worthy moment, where it's like execs are gonna be like, fuck, I could get anything done. So rather than the high executives, it's gonna be this massive leverage tool that you use. It's gonna be like that. That's literally, it's gonna be that leverage tool. It's gonna be the one personal relations strategist thing that you could have. It's gonna be focused on, it knows all the dirty psychological tricks. It's not gonna be ethically bound. Its sole purpose is. I've been talking about this while showering, actually, to myself. That you want to build something, like you want to be behind building something that, if went wrong, goes to makes the entire society go to shit. Imagine this agent that I talked about then gains sentience. Let's say, hey, make this deal happen, and then it just fucking goes around, finds blackmail material on influential people, and then without consulting the person who actually let that chain start, it's just a bunch of shit. World ending crap, essentially. It's gonna be the biggest fucking political player ever. So you wanna have something like that. Some a nation that plays politics well. Yeah, that's gonna be impressive. And I don't think nobody's gonna focus on that for a while, other than experimentalists, and that's what I want. Experimentalists to do this. Jailbreakers will be interested in this thing. Yeah, that's my hypothesis for where, like, what does my product vision of four things. For next 5 years, next 3 years, I'm not gonna shoot 5 years. It's gonna be like it's wild already what's going on. So like this kind of capability has the highest impact in the real world. Like data set creation, it's gonna be the immediate thing that one could do. The second thing is focusing on agents that can have high impact. There is no viability right now immediately to grab, but when the capability is there, it's gonna be a game changer. That kind of shit. So these are my two horses in the race, and my opinions on them. Yeah, fuck. This started off as my mushack catch up, but it's turned into my predictions on AI. Well, my bet on AI. That's what this. I'm gonna title this "My Bet on AI" and just put it on Twitter, I guess. But yeah, this is Mushack and my bet on AI, and hopefully my shot at YC. Who the fuck knows where this is gonna end up?